Good morning, students. Last class we were completed the discovery of electrons. Another one is the properties of the electrons completed. Then next one concept is the specific charge of electron or charge to mass ratio of the electron. Before going to this one concept, once we have to remember the fourth point in the properties of the electrons. What is the fourth point in the properties of electron? Cl. So in the properties of electron, fourth one point. For example, this is discharge tube. So it is a cathode, anode, cathode, anode. So in the absence of electric field, magnetic field, the rays are traveled in the straight line. So in the presence of electric field, which is perpendicular to the path of electrons. So this is first one point. In the absence of electric magnetic field, the rays are traveling in straight line. In the presence of electric field, so this is electric field. In the presence of electric field, these rays are deflected toward the positive pole of electric field. The cathode rays are deflected toward positive pole of electric field. Here, what is electric field? Positive pole. This is positive pole. The rays are deflected toward the positive pole of electric field. That is in the presence of electric field. Next, in the presence of magnetic field, what happens? So this is the in the presence of magnetic field. In the presence of magnetic field, these cathode rays are deflected toward the opposite side of electric field. Opposite side of electric field means this is opposite side. This is in the presence of electric field, the rays are deflected toward the bottom side, downward direction. In the absence of electric field, magnetic field, the rays are traveled in the straight line. But in the presence of magnetic field, the rays are deflected toward the upward direction, means this direction. This is in the presence of electric field. In the presence of magnetic field, this one. Absence of both, this is straight line. Based on this one concept, J.J. Thomson was determined the charge to mass ratio. So before going to this one calculation, so in this, based on this one concept, J.J. Thomson was explained one of the small concept. Then what is the first one point? The deflection of the cathode rays from their path in the presence of electric field, magnetic field is depending on the three factors. Deflection of cathode rays from their path in the presence of electric field and magnetic field is depends on the three factors. Factor number one, magnitude of charge of particles. Magnitude of charge. First one factor is the magnitude of charge. Magnitude of charge means the charge of the electrons increase, means the charge of the particle or electrons increase, deflection is increased. Okay, so here cathode rays, charge of the particles on the cathode rays increase, the deflection of cathode rays from their path increase. That is first one point. Second one factor is mass of the particles, means electrons. Then what is the mass of the particle? The mass of the cathode rays is decrease. Deflection of the cathode rays decrease. Mass of cathode rays decrease. Deflection of electrons increase. So mass of the particle is decrease. Deflection from their path deflection of the particle from their path increase. That is second one factor. Then third one is here, the greater the electric field, magnetic field is applied in this path, the greater the electric field, magnetic field is applied in the path of the electrons, greater the deflection. So that is third one point. The deflection of electron is increased. Deflection of electrons or cathode rays increase. With increase the strength of electric field and magnetic field. Strength of electric field and magnetic field. So based on these three factors, J.J. Thomson was discovered the charge to mass ratio. So once again, In the absence of electric field magnetic field, the rays are traveling in straight line. But in the presence of electric field, the rays are deflected toward the positive pole of electric field. In the presence of magnetic field, the rays are deflected toward the opposite side of electric field. So based on this one, the amount of deflection of cathode rays from their path means this much of deflection or this much of deflection or this much of deflection. The amount of deflection from their path depending on these three factors. Factor number 1, magnitude of charge. The charge of the cathode rays is increased. Deflection is also increased. Why? The charge of the particle increase, so the electrons or more charged particles are attracted toward the electric field increase. Okay, that's why the charge of the particle increase, the deflection of the cathode rays from their path increase. Next one is mass of the particle. The mass of the particle is decreased, deflection of cathode rays from their path increase. So mass of the particle decrease, deflection of cathode rays increase. Third one is the deflection of cathode rays from their path depending on the strength of electric field and magnetic field. More the strength of electric field magnetic field is applied, more the deflection. Less the strength of electric field magnetic field is applied, less the deflection. That's why the deflection of cathode rays or electrons increase with increase the strength of electric field magnetic field. So based on these three concepts, J.J. Thomson was discovered the charge to mass ratio. So then next one is the magnitude of the, based on the magnitude of electric field magnetic field, based on the magnitude of electric field and magnetic field, J.J. Thomson was determined the charge to mass ratio. Based on this strength of electric field and magnitude of strength of electric field and magnetic field, J.J. Thomson was determined or find out the charge to mass ratio of electron. Then how much he was calculated charge to mass ratio? The charge to mass ratio of electron is calculated by the J.J. Thomson on the basis of magnitude of electric field magnetic field. Its value is 1.75 into 10 power 11 coulomb kilogram inverse. So this is the charge to mass ratio of what is that? Electron. Is here charge to mass ratio means here charge of the particle increase, deflection of the cathode rays is decrease. Mass of the particle decrease, deflection of the cathode rays is increase. That's why charge by mass ratio. Okay, charge increase, deflection increase. Mass decrease, deflection also increase. That ratio charge by mass ratio is equal to 1.75 into 10 power 11 coulomb kilogram inverse. That is about the specific charge or charge to mass ratio of electron. So the next one is point is the velocity of electron increase, specific charge or charge to mass ratio is decrease. Velocity of electron increase, specific charge is decrease due to increase the mass of electrons. So that is one of the point. Velocity of electron increase, charge to mass ratio or specific charge of the electron what happen? Decrease. Then next to last one point, the mass of the moving electron is calculated by the formula mass of moving electron is calculated by the formula m is equal to m naught by 1 minus c by v square under root. M is equal to m naught by under root of 1 minus v by c power 2. Here what is m? M means mass of the moving electrons. M naught means rest mass of electron. V means velocity of electron. C means velocity of light. So by using this one formula, the mass of moving electron is determined by the J.J. Thomson. So this is about the charge to mass ratio. The next one is charge of electron. Charge of electron was determined by the R.A. Millikan scientist from the Millikan oil drop experiment. Millikan oil drop experiment. From this Millikan oil drop experiment, R.A. Millikan was determined the charge of electrons. So based on this oil drop experiment, the charge of oil drop is always integral multiple of minus 1.602 into 10 power minus 90 coulombs. Sorry, 1.602 into 10 power minus 90 coulombs. So once again, based on Millikan ion drop experiment, the charge of oil drop is always integral multiple of 1.602 into 10 power minus 90 coulomb. So this is about the charge of electron. But electron having the what charge? Negative charge. So that's why before this one value we have to write the sign, negative sign. So the charge of electron is equal to minus 1.602 into 10 power minus 90 coulombs. So this is about the charge of electron. Then next one is the mass of electron. Mass of electron. On combining the charge of electron and specific charge of electron, the mass of electron was determined by the J.J. Thomson. On combining the charge of electron and specific charge of the electron, the mass of electron was determined by the J.J. Thomson. Here, the mass of electron is equal to charge of electron by specific charge of electron, means charge to mass ratio of electron. What is their charge of electron? 1.602 into 10 power minus 90 coulombs divided by charge to mass ratio means 1.75 into 10 power 11 coulomb kilogram inverse. Coulomb cancel. Then its value is 9.10 into 10 power minus 31 kilogram. So this is about the mass of electron. Okay. So here charge of electron, when we taken the charge of electron, that is represented by the negative sign. But in this calculation we have to take that value 1.602 10 power minus 90. No need to take negative value. Okay. So what is their charge? No need to take sign. So this is about the mass of electron. Then next one is the discovery of the proton. Then next one concept is the discovery of the proton. See here. Discovery of the proton. Proton another name is anode rays. Proton or anode rays are discovered by the Goldstein. Goldstein was discovered the proton or anode rays by using the anode ray discharge tube. Anode ray discharge tube. By using the anode ray discharge tube, Goldstein was discovered the protons or anode rays. Then what is anode ray discharge tube? So it is made up of the glass. Anode ray tube is it contains one glass tube. Both ends of the tube is arranging the two metal plates at their both ends. So this is one of the metal plate. This is another one metal plate. These metal plates are called electrodes. One of the electrode is acting as cathode. This is cathode. Another electrode is acting as anode. This is anode. This is vacuum pump. This is high voltage electricity. High voltage electricity. So in this discharge tube, it was taken the hydrogen gas. Then next one is this is the anode. So in this anode plate, the surface of the anode rays, anode plate, the surface of the anode is closed with zinc sulfide screen, fluorescent material. This is surface of the anode plate. Okay, is closed with zinc sulfide screen. Then next one is behind the cathode rays. Behind the cathode rays, it was arranged the zinc sulfide screen. This is the zinc sulfide screen. But here cathode ray is perforated cathode Goldstein was used the perforated cathode. Perforated means it contains small holes. So this is perforated cathode. Okay. So after that he was taken the hydrogen gas in the discharge tube. So this is about the anode discharge tube experiment. Then what is the discovery of the proton? Is here. So in this anode discharge tube, the Goldstein was applied the high voltage electricity, nearly 10,000 volts of electricity is passed across the cathode and the anode contained in the glass tube having the hydrogen gas of the pressure 0.01 mm of mercury. So at this low pressure, he was applied the high voltage across the cathode and the anode. After sending the high voltage electricity, some of the residual positively charged particles are left in this discharge tube. Residual positive charged particles means, you see here, this is hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas having the hydrogen atoms. So this is hydrogen atom. Okay, now? When we are applied the high voltage electricity in this glass tube, the hydrogen atoms lose that electrons. So this hydrogen atom lose the electrons. Each hydrogen having one electron, the hydrogen atoms lose electrons. These electrons having negative charge particles the negative charge particles are traveled from cathode to anode. So these electrons are traveled from cathode to anode. So this is called negatively charged particles or electrons. After passing these negatively charged particles, then here loss of electron means it contains positive charge. After passing the negatively charged electrons, the positively charged particles are left. These residual positively charged particles are travelled from anode to cathode. Understood what I said? So whenever this residual positive charged particles travel from anode to cathode through the small holes of the cathode, and these positive charged particles are strikes on the zinc sulfide screen. When it is strikes on zinc sulfide screen, here bright color spots are developed. Bright spots are developed. So from this experiment, Goldstein was explained the first he was taken the hydrogen gas, then he was applied the high voltage electricities. The hydrogen atoms gain that heat energy and lost the electrons. The electrons are passed from cathode to anode, that is called negatively charged particles. After completely passing of negatively charged particles from cathode to anode, there was some residual positively charged particles are left. These positive charged particles are travelled from anode to cathode, okay, through the small holes of the cathode. Okay, when the particles are passed through the small holes of the when the positively charged particles are passed through the small holes of the cathode, these positive charged particles strikes on the this zinc sulfide screen. In this zinc sulfide screen, bright color spots are developed. From this experiment, he was explained some of the invisible positively charged particles are present in this gas. Okay, so these positively charged particles traveled from anode to cathode through the small holes of the cathode. After that, these particles are strikes on zinc sulfide. Then only here bright color spots are developed. So based on this experiment, Goldstein was explaining these positive charged particles are present in this atoms. Okay, these positive charged particles he was called anode rays. Why he was called anode rays? Because of the particles transfer from anode to cathode. So that's why another name is anode rays. Anode rays, another name is positively charged particles. Another name is positively charged particles. And another one name is these particles also called canal rays. Canal rays means these rays are travelled through the canals means small holes. Why he was used the perforated cathode now? These particles are passed through these canals of the cathode. That's why it is called canal rays. Canal rays. So there are different names are there. Further, these canal rays are negative charge particles or anode rays. The name was given by the proton. The name proton was given by the Goldstein. Further, the canal rays are positive charge particles or anode rays. Total these names. The name was Goldstein, the name of proton was given by the Goldstein. Further, this proton name is suggested by the Rutherford also. Okay, so that is about the discovery of the proton. Next one is from this experiment, Goldstein was explaining the properties of the anode rays. The next one concept is properties of the proton. Then what are the properties of the protons? Here. So these properties of the proton is taken from this discovery of the anode rays. Here, property number 1. The anode rays containing the positive charge. Anode rays contains positive charge. So that is one of the point. Then second point is anode rays are travelled in the straight line in the absence of electric field, magnetic field from the anode to cathode. So anode rays are travelled in the straight line from anode to cathode. That is the second point. Then third one point, the behavior of anode rays in the presence of electric field, magnetic field is completely opposite to that of cathode rays. The behavior of anode rays in the presence of electric field, magnetic field is completely opposite to that of cathode rays. That is third point. Means is here. For example, this is the discharge tube. Okay. So this is cathode. This is anode. Here, in the absence of electric field, the rays are travelled in the straight line. Means the anode rays are travelled in the straight line from anode to cathode. But in the presence of electric field, the anode rays are deflected toward the negative pole of electric field. Okay, but in the case of the cathode rays, the cathode rays are deflected toward positive pole of electric field. These rays are deflected toward the negative pole of electric field. That is completely opposite. Like that, in the presence of magnetic field also, here in the presence of magnetic field also, the anode rays are deflected toward the opposite to that of electric field. Means this one side. Anode rays are deflected toward the opposite to that of electric field. But in the case of the cathode rays, the cathode rays are deflected toward the this one side. So cathode rays are deflected toward this one side. Anode rays are deflected toward this one side in the presence of magnetic field. So based on this concept, we will explain the behavior of anode rays in the presence of electric field, magnetic field is completely opposite to that of cathode rays. Okay, that is about the third one point. Then fourth one point, the nature of the anode rays depending on the, this is important point, the nature of anode rays depends on the nature of gas used in the discharge tube. Nature of gas used in the discharge tube. Okay, means nature of anode rays or properties of anode rays. Properties of anode rays or nature of the anode rays depending on the nature of gas used in the discharge tube. So if you take the hydrogen gas, so properties of the anode rays is one type. If you take another one gas, so properties of the anode rays is changes. So the properties of the anode rays depending on the nature of gas used in the discharge tube. Then next one is fifth one point, specific charge or charge to mass ratio of proton. Charge to mass ratio of the proton is also depending on the nature of gas used in the discharge tube. Nature of gas used in the discharge tube. If you take the hydrogen gas in the discharge tube, charge to mass ratio of the proton is maximum. Charge to mass ratio of the proton maximum when the hydrogen gas used in the discharge tube. Okay, so that is about the 5 points. Once again, anode rays are contained in the positive charge. Second point, anode rays travel in the straight line from anode to cathode. Third one point, the behavior of the anode rays in the presence of electric field, magnetic field is quite opposite to that of cathode rays. Next, the properties of the anode rays is depending on nature of gas used in the discharge tube, but in the case of the cathode rays, so properties of the cathode rays is independent on the nature of gas used in the discharge tube. But here properties of anode is depending on the nature of gas used in the discharge tube. Then next one is the specific charge of proton is depending on the nature of gas used in the discharge tube. So the specific charge of electron is maximum when the hydrogen gas used in the discharge tube. If you take other gases, specific charge of proton is changes, but highest specific charge of proton is when hydrogen gas used in the discharge tube. Then last one point is the specific charge means charge by mass ratio of the proton was discovered by the Goldstein. The charge by mass ratio of the proton is 9.55 into 10 power 7 coulomb kilogram inverse. So this is the charge by mass ratio of the proton. Then next one is charge of the proton. Charge of the proton is equal to the 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. But charge of electron is minus 1.602, charge of proton is plus 1.602. Why? Electrons have the negative charge, protons have the positive charge. But here magnitude of charge is constant. 1.602 is common value. Here we are taking the positive sign. Positive sign indicates the charge of proton. If you take negative sign, that is charge of electron. Electron charge, proton charge is equal, but sign is only different. Then next one is mass of the proton. Mass of proton. The mass of proton is 1.672 into 10 power minus 27 kilogram. Mass of the proton is 1.672 into 10 power minus 27 kilogram. So these values are given by the Goldstein. So this is about the properties of the protons. Here one more important point: charge by mass ratio of the proton is smaller than the charge by mass ratio of the electrons. Compared with electron charge specific charge, proton specific charge is lesser. So this is about the discovery of proton.